When you kill a king, you don't stab him in the dark. You kill him where the whole court can watch him die.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 best revenge movies.
And yet it should be noted that in the midst of our sorrow, this death takes place in the shadow of new life.
For this list, we'll be looking at the best movies that are structured around a character seeking vengeance. Which of these is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Number 20. Gangs of New York. Martin Scorsese had high ambitions with Gangs of New York, an epic historical drama that spans nearly 3 hours. The movie touches on the history of 19th century New York, while also telling an intense revenge story.
May God put the steel of the Holy Spirit in my spine, and the love of the Blessed Virgin in my heart.
Leonardo DiCaprio plays Amsterdam Valen, the son of a man killed by Bill the Butcher. Bill is a psychotic gang leader who runs the 5 Points area with a violent and authoritarian edge.
Who holds sway over the 5 Points? Us natives, born rightwise to this fine land, or the foreign hordes defiling it?
Scorsese's epic is filled with fantastic period detail, but it really shines when focusing squarely on the Bill and Amsterdam feud. Bill is arguably one of the greatest movie villains of the 21st century, and Daniel Day-Lewis is typically exceptional in the role.
Thank God. I die a true American.
Number 19. The Last House on the Left. The Last House on the Left has long been regarded as one of cinema's nastiest creations. Its entire first half is focused squarely on protagonists Mary and Phyllis. Unfortunately, the criminals slay them both.
I think it's crazy. What's crazy? All that blood and violence. I thought you were supposed to be the love generation.
After the villains commit their crimes, they inadvertently find themselves at Mary's house while looking for a place to crash. After some quick detective work, Mary's parents realize that they're harboring the people who slayed their daughter. The duo immediately gets to work enacting bloody revenge. It's certainly not a movie for the squeamish, and it can be a little too brutal for some.
She was a lot tougher than you were, Doc. She took a while to kill.
However, it is still a defining and influential entry in the horror genre that introduced the genius of Wes Craven to the masses. Number 18. Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. While revenge movies typically have a hero giving villains their long-awaited comeuppance, some movies flip the concept on its head and have the antagonist looking for payback. As the title suggests, The Wrath of Khan is all about Khan's, wrath.
I've done far worse than kill you. I've hurt you. And I wish to go on hurting you.
The story picks up after the episode Space Seed, which saw him and a few of his loved ones get sent to a planet called Ceti Alpha by Captain Kirk. But after a disaster wrecks the planet and he loses his wife, Khan seeks revenge. He executes his quest in what is widely regarded as the best Star Trek movie.
Buried alive. Buried alive.
It features good action, strong character writing, and an electrifying performance from Ricardo Montalban as Khan. His drive makes him one of the greatest sci-fi villains.
To the last, I will grapple with thee.
Number 17. Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Back in 1979, Stephen Sondheim's Broadway musical walked away with 8 Tonys after offering up a troubling and incredibly macabre story about a barber who cuts a lot more than hair. Nearly 30 years later, Tim Burton adapted the musical for the screen and retained every single element that made it so legendary.
They all deserve to die. Tell you why, Mrs. Lovitz, tell you why.
Johnny Depp received an Oscar nomination for playing Sweeney Todd, a man who lost his wife at the hands of the corrupt Judge Turpin. Alan Rickman's Turpin is just one of many brilliant supporting roles, and the movie's period detail is simply exquisite.
Your meaning is immaterial. Mark me. If I see your face again on this street, you'll rue the day you were born.
There's simply no other musical as bloody and full of vengeance as Sweeney Todd is. Number 16. Revenge. Well, you certainly know what you're getting with the title. A socialite named Jen travels to the secluded mansion of her married boyfriend, Richard. But she's soon mistreated by her partner and his two hunting buddies. After she's left for dead in the middle of the desert, she decides to take, well, you've seen the title.
Je voulais te dire, je suis vraiment désolé pour Jen. Enfin, pour qui? Enfin, Jen. Connais pas.
The thriller was widely praised amongst moviegoers. Many took note of its topicality in the midst of the hashtag #MeToo movement and found much to love in its subversion of the well-worn genre. The filmmaking was also lauded, with the exploitation-style violence and cinematography making for an unflinching and visceral narrative.
Le désert est sublime, mais sans pitié avec les imprudents.
Matilda Lutz's lead performance also earned considerable admiration as she sought vengeance. Number 15. The Northman. After director Robert Eggers built himself a solid reputation following strong movies like The Lighthouse, hype was quite high for The Northman. Here he was working with a more mainstream framework to tell a revenge story centered around Vikings.
You behold your brother's gaze in amazement. I knew well you would.
Alexander Skarsgård stars as Amleth, a Viking prince who seeks revenge against his uncle Fjolnir. Eggers' distinctive mark is felt in a film with a very dark and nihilistic atmosphere. And the astounding visuals help present the movie as some type of surreal Viking myth. This makes sense considering the story is based on a real Scandinavian legend. The Northman is a revenge epic with Eggers' unmistakable personality, and it's excellent.
King Eifendale is dead! Long live King Fjolnir! Long live King Fjolnir! Hail King!
Number 14. Blue Ruin. Writer-director Jeremy Saulnier successfully crafted a smart subversion of the typical revenge thriller. Once Dwight Evans learns that his parents' killer is getting out of prison, he travels to Virginia to seek revenge.
He's going to be released. And I don't know how much they are missed.
To say more would spoil an excellently told story with many fascinating twists and turns. Suffice to say, things aren't as simple as they appear. Dwight is presented as an atypical and anti-heroic character. So the movie depicts revenge through a more authentic filter than many other films of its kind. Blue Ruin feels more like an anti-revenge thriller. Along the way, it deconstructs the genre and presents payback as a bloody and destructive concept that should be feared.
You know, it's awful. Just because my dad loved your mom, we all end up dead.
Number 13. Memento. Christopher Nolan's major directorial debut showed everyone how to tell a revenge story in a wonderfully unique way. A man with memory issues named Leonard wants to get back at those who hurt him and his wife.
I'm not a killer. I'm just someone who wanted to make things right.
His journey is told through two alternating storylines, one of which is told in chronological order and one which is told in reverse. What stops this from being a confusing mess is artful direction and Leonard's clear drive to figure out who wronged him and his wife.
I know I can't have her back, but I don't want to wake up in the morning thinking she's still here. I lie here not knowing how long I've been alone.
Fortunately, everything comes together in a brilliant ending. Nolan made the revenge thriller unique again thanks to some genius filmmaking, a challenging structure, and some great twists.
You think I just want another puzzle to solve? Another John G to look for? You're John G. So you can be my John G.
Number 12. Mandy. Few vengeful thrillers are as beautiful as Mandy. Nicolas Cage stars as Red, a logger who witnesses the death of his girlfriend Mandy at the hands of deranged cult leader Jeremiah Sand.
Another pearl wasted before swine.
What follows is pure cinematic excess. Mandy is incredibly stylish thanks to a brilliant score from Johan Johansson and some remarkable cinematography by Benjamin Loeb.
So what you gonna do with that thing?
I'm going hunting.
And any movie that features a chainsaw fight along the way deserves everyone's attention. Mandy definitely blends insane violence, striking beauty, and genuine emotion into one extremely metal package. Number 11. True Grit. After the original True Grit with John Wayne became a classic, the Coen brothers made a fantastic remake for a new generation. In both versions of the story, the young Maddie Ross hires Rooster Cogburn to help her find the man who killed her father.
They tell me you're a man with true grit.
What do you want, girl? Speak up at supper time.
It's not really the revenge itself that proves important in this story, but the familial bond that develops between the heroes. Their interactions are both emotionally touching and hilarious.
I'm struck that the beef has been shot, trampled, and nearly severed his tongue. Not only does he not cease to talk, but he spills the banks of English.
It also helps that Haley Steinfeld, Jeff Bridges, and Matt Damon give such exceptional performances. The movie is also flawlessly made by the Coen brothers and their team of filmmakers. Receiving 10 Oscar nominations, True Grit is one of the finest tales of payback of the modern era. Number 10. Unforgiven. Perhaps the greatest revisionist Western ever made, Unforgiven deconstructs many tropes of the popular genre.
It's a hell of a thing, killing a man. You take away all he's got, and all he's ever gonna have.
It tells a double revenge tale, and both are equally horrifying. The first movie involves the ladies of Big Whiskey, Wyoming. They put a bounty on a man for slicing one of their faces. The other plot involves protagonist William Money, who famously seeks revenge in the climax of the movie for the death of an old friend.
You just shot an unarmed man.
Well, he should have armed himself. He's gonna decorate his saloon with my friend.
Unlike other westerns, Unforgiven blurs the lines between good guys and villains. It fully presents violence as the morally compromising force that it is. Unforgiven isn't about fun duels and horse chases. It's a nihilistic and unforgettable movie that presents the Wild West as a brutal place to be. Number 9. The Crow. This moody and supernatural superhero story centers around Brandon Lee's Eric Draven. After a gang slays him and his fiancée, Eric is resurrected as the Crow to claim his vengeance.
They're all dead. They just don't know it yet.
The movie is steeped in literal and figurative darkness. Its gorgeous style is created through some brilliant production design and cinematography. And not only is the plot truly moving at times, but the Crow's ability to make his targets feel the pain of their victims is extremely poetic.
Suddenly, I heard a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door.
The late and great Brandon Lee absolutely commanded the screen as the title character. He absolutely shines in a bleak and rewarding revenge story.
You're him, huh? The Avenger. The killer of killers. Nice outfit. Not sure about the face, though.
I just want him.
Number 8. Promising Young Woman. This film from Emerald Fennell makes for a gripping and at times difficult watch. Carey Mulligan gives a mesmerizing performance as Cassie Thomas, a smart underachiever who is suffering from post-traumatic stress.
I think you should go.
But a second ago, you were determined for me to stay. You were pretty insistent, actually.
Her friend Nina took her own life after being mistreated in college. We follow Cassie as she seeks revenge against those responsible. While Fennell's challenging screenplay took home the Oscar, Mulligan also earned herself a nomination.
Was it reported? Yes. Do you know who Nina spoke to? You.
Promising Young Woman has a lot of topical things to say about predatory behavior, institutions, and mental health. Its deep messages make it stand tall as one of the best examples of what the genre is capable of.
Did you ever feel guilty, or did you just feel relieved that she'd gone?
You know, I was affected by it too, okay? I mean, it's every guy's worst nightmare getting accused like that.
Can you guess what every woman's worst nightmare is?
Number 7. Once Upon a Time in the West. Sergio Leone is a master of the spaghetti western, and Once Upon a Time in the West is arguably his masterpiece. This epic story spans many different characters, locations, and subplots. One storyline involves a man known only as Harmonica, who is seeking revenge against the criminal who killed his older brother.
Nothing matters now, not the land, not the money, not the woman. I came here to see you.
The haunting story of his vengeance is told with the help of expert filmmaking. A combination of expansive cinematography and an absolutely fantastic score perfectly capture the mood and look of this dark tale. Top it all off, the performances are also uniformly excellent. The charming Henry Fonda even plays against type as the villain. Westerns don't get much better or more meaningful than this.
Now that you've called me by name,
Number 6. The Count of Monte Cristo. When the filmmakers took creative liberties with Alexandre Dumas's iconic novel, they gave the world a spectacular adventure film. Jim Caviezel stars as Edmond Dantes, a man who is framed for a crime and falsely imprisoned.
Life is a storm, my young friend. You will bask in the sunlight one moment, be shattered on the rocks the next.
When he is eventually freed, Edmond seeks revenge on those responsible. The classic story captures all the spirit of its source material while adding great touches of its own. Throughout its runtime, viewers get great performances, gorgeous visuals of Malta, and some wonderful period detail. And whether you're familiar or unfamiliar with the original story, you're in for a few memorable twists. The 2002 film is a great example of how to adapt a classic tale of vengeance for the screen.
God said, vengeance is mine.
I don't believe in God.
It doesn't matter. He believes in you.
Number 5. Inglourious Bastards. Quentin Tarantino wasn't afraid to change history in this revisionist tale. Inglourious Bastards follows both the titular group and a French woman named Shoshana. While she aims to kill the Nazi responsible for her family's slaughter, the rest of the crew want to punish as many as possible.
Once we're in enemy territory, as a bushwhacking guerrilla army, we're going to be doing one thing and one thing only: killing Nazis.
Tarantino's screenplay and direction blend historical tragedy and comedy extremely well. However, this movie arguably belongs to Christoph Waltz. His Nazi character Hans Landa is easily one of the greatest movie villains ever conceived.
You're sheltering enemies of the state, are you not?
Yes.
You're sheltering them underneath your floorboards, aren't you?
Waltz took home the Oscar for his devilish performance. While his actors celebrated, his Hans Landa character got his just desserts as the satisfying story of vengeance came to an end. Number 4. John Wick. After Keanu Reeves made Neo an essential pop culture character, he created another cinematic icon in 2014. That year, the actor debuted as an extremely skilled ex-hitman named John Wick.
Open it. Code.
He famously comes out of retirement after local gangsters steal his car and slay his new best friend. This revenge tale resonated so well with audiences because of how well made it is. The movie is full of gorgeous shots, the characters are all charismatic, and the story fleshes out a cool underground world of assassins.
And as always, it is a pleasure having you with us again, Mr. Wick.
But most importantly, the action sequences are absolutely breathtaking. They feature minimal editing and get ridiculously creative. Fortunately, John Wick's success spawned a franchise where Keanu Reeves keeps killing it while his character gets revenge.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Number 3. Oldboy. Park Chan-wook's thriller is filled to the brim with themes of vengeance and characters seeking payback.
나요. 이제 무슨 낙으로 살지?
Ode-Soo desires revenge after being in prison for nearly 20 years for reasons he's desperate to figure out. His adventure takes him down a very dark path of violence and depravity. By the end of his journey, he discovers a horrifying truth that makes him regret ever seeking answers.
아저씨 여기요. 무슨 상자 갖다 놨는데 나보고 이거 열어보라는데 이거 그때처럼 보라색.
While we won't spoil the final twist for those who haven't seen this excellent thriller, we can still praise the pitch-perfect performances and intriguing mystery.
당신의 진짜 실수는 대답을 못 찾은 게 아니야. 자꾸 틀린 질문만 하니까 맞는 대답이 나올 리가 없잖아.
It also features one of the greatest one-take action sequences of all time. Old Boy is an impeccably well-crafted thriller whose ending will always stay with you. Number 2. Gladiator. Gladiator centers around a Roman named Maximus, who seeks vengeance against an emperor who had his family killed. But if he wants to strike back at the powerful man that wronged him, he'll need to continuously fight for his life.
Your fame is well-deserved, Spaniard. I don't think there's ever been a gladiator to match you.
The visuals are astounding throughout and help bring ancient Rome to life in modern times. At the same time, the gladiatorial action sequences are heart-pounding and suitably grotesque. The movie also mines great emotional heft from its story, using revenge to explore universal concepts like love and evil.
The general who became a slave. The slave who became a gladiator. The gladiator who defied an emperor.
After one viewing, it's easy to understand why Gladiator won 5 Academy Awards, including a Best Actor nod for Russell Crowe. He stars in a revenge story that's epic in every sense of the word.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Kill Bill Volume 1 and Kill Bill Volume 2. Since Tarantino originally intended Kill Bill to be one movie, we're including both entries in the top spot. The bloody story is set into motion when Bill and his assassins slay Beatrix's husband and nearly take her life.
This ain't no squirrely amateur. This is a worker with a solid dog.
After she wakes up from a coma, she refuses to stop until everyone who betrayed her gets what's coming to them. The stylish tale manages to incorporate martial arts, swordplay, and beautiful stunt work. But the flashy action never gets in the way of the core story. Uma Thurman beautifully explores every aspect of Beatrix, including her character's complex relationship with Bill.
You and I have unfinished business.
Baby, you ain't kidding.
Thanks to excellent character work, a variety of great action, and tons of style, the Kill Bill saga is arguably cinema's greatest revenge story.
You look ready.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.